Hi, this is Jeffrey Kurt, Kurt Financial Group. Today is Monday, August 25, 2025. So today, a couple of things I think to focus on. One is the markets last week and specifically Friday. And then number two, Nvidia's earnings on Wednesday. Last Friday, as you probably know, the stock market jumped on the Jerome Powell speech and his guidance and wink and a nod that interest rates will get cut in September, and stocks really took off. The Dow was up 1.8%, NASDAQ up 1.8%, S&P up 1.5%, and Russell was up almost 4%. Those are all one-day moves. You know, for the week, I find it interesting. The NASDAQ was actually down for the week, even with this powerful move. The rest of the indexes were up a little bit. The Russell, again, up 3.8% for the week, and now up about 5.5% year to date. So the Russell and the small stocks, recently been outperforming the Mag 7 and the NASDAQ. So I don't know if it's a change of leadership. Want to point that out. Also, looking at Friday, it was what they call a 90% up day. So which this means is a 90% of the stocks that traded were up, and that 90% of the volume that traded on the NYSE was up. And the significance of that is when you see one of these, it usually means that the move's going to continue. There is a corresponding one for down days as well, but this was an up day on Friday, 90%, and it usually means there's more buying and more gains ahead. The last time we had a 90% up day was in April, right after the tariff scare, and then right after that, for the next 3 months, stocks were up over 30% as measured by the S&P 500. So again, a powerful move on Friday. Indications are it may continue. Hey, there's a lot of risk there too. So it's not like all coast clear. We've got all the geopolitical stuff. We've got deficits and the debt things and all those things going on in Washington that need to get worked out. And also, this is a very overpriced market and priced for perfection. So kind of balancing those things, though, maybe we kind of stagger forward and keep moving and grinding higher, which then leads to Nvidia. Nvidia, it was 7 or 8% of the S&P 500. Nvidia is like 15% of the NASDAQ 100. So it's a significant part of these indexes. They report earnings on Wednesday. Nvidia's market capitalization is about $1 trillion less than the whole Japanese stock market. The second largest stock market in the world, and Nvidia is that close to overtaking it. Nvidia's market cap is larger than the UK stock market, the Canadian stock market, the Chinese stock market. Not combined, but those three markets, Nvidia's market cap is larger. So it is, an important company, successful company. They're going to report good numbers. But, is there a fly in the ointment? Is there something, does a market, kind of sell off on something said during the conference call? Again, Nvidia is very important for the overall market. We've got a strong, end of the week last week, but weak tech sectors. So kind of balancing out. We'll see how that, how we trade into Wednesday, and then the rest of the week, Friday afternoons, before the long weekend, not much going to be going on. So again, strong end of last week could propel markets higher, and then Nvidia is the big story for this week. Thank you for listening. We'll be back on Wednesday. Please like, subscribe, share, and give us any comments and questions. Thank you again.